Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome back to our channel, Balaji English Language Learners. This is Jyothi, and I'm here to tell you the summary of the lesson. Every success story is also a story of great failures. So here, if you go on with, there is no much time, so let us only see the summary of the lesson. So here, the meaning of the sentence or the heading is, all the stories of success are also the stories of great failures. That means that failures are the stepping stone to success. We all know about the Abraham Lincoln. Yes, we all know about that person, Abraham Lincoln, who was the president of United States. It was not easy for him. It was not at all easy for him to reach that particular height, great height in his life. He faced many major setbacks in business as well as in the politics before he was elected as the president of United States. At the age of 52, he was elected as the president of United States. He did not lose hope and he did not give his efforts. Right. So then when we move on with the next person is D Forrest. Who is he? D Forrest. And he was the inventor of triodes tube. In 1913, he was charged. He was charged by the district attorney, lawyer, for using the dishonest means to mislead the public. They said that he is misleading the public. Though he was publicly humiliated, he was insulted publicly, but he did not stop his efforts. He continued his efforts and he made so many inventions. So then if you move on to the next part, you can find here Wright brothers. Yes, Wright brothers, and they have successfully took their flight after their wisdom was questioned. Their wisdom was questioned. After that, they have taken over and took their flight by a New York Times editor. Like New York Times editor questioned the wisdom of Wright brothers, but still they did not lose any type of hope. They continued. He continued to work hard. Then you will move on to the next person, Colonel Sanders, in this lesson. This Colonel Sanders is none other than the person who is the founder of KFC, right? Chain restaurants will be there, right? KFC chain restaurants. He, at the age of 65, worked hard and succeeded in selling few food items. He knocked on more than 1,000 doors before he got his first order. See how many doors he had to go and knock down. More than 1,000 doors for his first order. Then you can go on with the cartoonist, young cartoonist Walt Disney, who is a famous cartoonist right now. Yes, who is a famous cartoonist, but he faced many rejections before he get the success. He faced many rejections. He was a creator. He created the Mickey Mouse. And when he was working out in a small house infested shed near the church, nobody was giving him work, but still one day a minister at the church hired him to draw some cartoons. In that house, he was working out of a small infested shed near the church, and that became the start of Mickey Mouse. So now if you move on to the next part of the person, if you see here, he is none other than Tommy is given like Thomas Edison, right? Thomas Edison, he was partially deaf actually. He was partially deaf and he failed more than 10,000 times, while he was working on the light bulb. He didn't give up and he got success finally. He was the man with great attitude. Though he lost his factory in fire. You can know this in the next part of the lesson also. See, though he lost his factory in fire, yes, he went on inventing phonograph. he was the inventor of the phonograph. He didn't lose any hope at the age, any point of his time. He was going on working hard. If you go on with Henry Ford, who is he? Next person is Henry Ford, who is a Ford company owner. He forgot to put the reverse gear in the first car, which he made. And he went broke at the age of 40. Broke at the age of 40. He succeeded later, reached the top position in selling the cars. So how you can see that failure as a success later on. Right. Next, if you go on to the next person, and that person is none other than Beethoven. Ludwig van Beethoven, who is a German composer, and a pianist, used to use music as his wholesome talent. Though he was told that he had no talent at all, he gave his best musics. He gave one of the best musics to our world. And all these persons succeeded in spite of their problems. A setback can act as a driving force and teach us humility. Yes, humility. You can see here, a setback can act as a driving force and teach us humility. We have to find the courage and faith to overcome the setback. Setback is nothing but the problem which we are facing. We must get rid of fear and doubt first. We have to remove the fear and the doubt which is there in our mind. If you are getting rid of it, it is very good. And that is the main thing. And we have to have a burning desire in our heart. If you are having a burning desire in your heart, that is the thing which is the start of your success point. Correct? You need to have a burning desire. Next, burning desire is the key to one's success. We can't get great results with a weak desire. If you have the desire, but it is not so strong, you're not going to get any type of success in our life. Here you can even find a person named Socrates. A young man went to Socrates and asked, what is the secret of your success? Then he said, go and meet me the next day near the river, bank of the river. Then what happened? Next day when they met, they went inside the water, going on walking till the water got up their neck. Socrates now told the young man by surprise. What did he do? He just ducked him inside the water, and the boy who was struggling inside was very much struggling to come out. But still, Socrates was so strong that kept him under the water only until he started turning into blue color. So now, after coming out, he asked that young man, what is the thing which you needed the most when you were inside the water? Then the young man said, I needed air. So then he said, that is the secret of your success. When you want the success so bad as you wanted the air, then you will definitely get the success. There is no other option at all, right? So now if you see the poem, if you think, yes, here if you see the poem here, if you think, I'll just tell you the summary of this. Do remember whatever I'm saying. Success, failure, win, defeat, all these depend on the man's thinking. Depends on man, how do the man think? How does the man think? Now, success begins with a fellow's will. Like you can see here, fellow's will. If you are willing, if you are wishing to start your success, you will definitely win. If one thinks is beaten or lost, if you think that I am beaten or I am lost, then you are really lost. There is no other option there. If one thinks that one is outclassed, then you are really outclassed. If you are thinking that you are positive in your thought, you will be positive. If you are thinking negative, you will be negative. One needs to think high to get the success. The person who thinks can easily win at the end. See, ultimately, the winning or the battle winner will be those person who will think that I am going to win. Correct? Victory is not always on the side of the stronger or the faster man. It also can be along with the man who is weaker but still desires to win. That means you have to remove your doubt, you have to remove your fear, and you're going to just go and do your best. Clear? Now let us go on with the author. See here, if you see the author here, Indian author. He is an Indian author. Shiv Khera is an Indian author. And he used to, he's a self-help books author. And he's an activist too. He fights for the others. While he is working in the US, actually when he is working in US, he was inspired by a lecturer. And that lecture was delivered by Norman Vincent Peale. Who is he? Norman Vincent Peale. And he started following all his motivational speeches and the teachings. Now he has written many books, and one of that famous is You Can Win. So now what is his motto? His motto or mission is to ensure freedom through the education and justice. Now he was born in a family of a business, like business family, who used to have coal mines. Who used to have coal mines in a place in India, Kendua in Dhanbad in India. So what happened at last after the nationalization of coal mines by the Indian government? So what did he do? He had searched for his own living. And then he worked as a car washer also for few years. He started his career as a car washer. Then he went on with a life insurance agent. Then he became a franchise operator before he became a motivational speaker. That's it about the Shiv Khera. That's it about Shiv Khera. Now, I hope you have understood this lesson. We'll go on with the reading C in the next session. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Now let us see the comprehension of the reading B in unit 1. What is the first question given here? Look to the question. To Lincoln, defeat was detour and not a dead end. Justify the statement from the life of Abraham Lincoln. See here, if you observe after reading the lesson and the summary I have already told you in the previous session, Abraham Lincoln was elected president of the United States at the age of 52. Before he became president, he faced many setbacks. He failed in business, lost in legislative, senatorial, and congressional races. He lost his sweetheart when he was of age 22. Thus, Lincoln had failed many times before he got big success. So, we can say that he proved that defeat was not a detour and not a dead end. Clear? And the next question now. Let us move to the next question. What is the second question? What did the Socrates suggest as a secret to success? Do you agree or disagree with him? Give your reasons. Give reasons for your answer. Okay. Now, Socrates suggested that burning desire is the only secret to one's success. Correct? Now, I agree with this statement. If we don't have a desire, if we don't at all have a desire, we can't achieve anything. A burning desire is the starting point of all the accomplishments, of all the success. A weak desire cannot produce great results. The motivation to get success comes from the burning desire to achieve a purpose. Right. Then we move on to the third one. See the question here. You need to complete the table. See here, Abraham Lincoln, he failed in business, defeated in legislative elections, had a nervous breakdown, congressional race and senatorial race. And final success was, he was elected president of United States of America. Now, who invented triodes tube? Yes, who invented triodes tube? D Forrest. So, write down here D Forrest. And next, failures and rejected. Okay, now you can write here that charged by district attorney. District attorney. And last, he was successful in inventing the triode tube. Next, Wright brothers. Wright brothers. Right. You can write Wright brothers as like, you can say that editorial, like in New York editorial, questioned. What did they question? Wisdom of Wright brothers. Wisdom. Questioned their wisdom. Right. So now what will be the answer here? Final success will be like, took their famous flight. Where? In Kitty Hawk. Right. Next. Who knocked the doors before he got his first order? Who is that person? Colonel Sanders. If you read this table, it is more than enough. You can understand every concept from this story. Right. And what is his famous or so-called final success? Colonel Sanders became famous as a businessman and a restaurant who founded the KFC, Kentucky Fried Kitchen chain restaurants. Clear? Next. What is the next one? Who is the founder of KFC here? Walt Disney. Firstly, he was said that he had no talent by the newspaper editors. At last, he succeeded in inventing or including the fictional characters like Mickey Mouse. He later on became an animator, film producer, director. Then you can say the screenwriter, voice actor, right? An icon and philanthropist too. Clear? Next. Who grew up as a great scientist? Thomas Edison. Teacher said that he had no law. I mean, he is partially deaf, right? So as a child, he was considered to be stupid to learn everything. Lost his factory to fire also, and when he was in his older age. Then at last, what did he do? He grew up to be a very good and a great scientist at last. Then the seventh one, established car companies like Ford. Yes, Henry Ford. He forgot to put his first reverse gear here. You can write here that forgot to put the reverse gear in the first car and he was broke down at the age of 40. Then fired by Henry Ford too. Who is that person fired by Henry Ford too? It's nothing but Lee Iacocca. And who is this Lee Iacocca? Here, Lee Iacocca is a famous engineer, and he is famous for the car companies. Like in that company, he is having a many famous business. In that, he used to work in a small area. Clear? He's a businessman actually. Next, who is this person who gave his best to the music? Ludwig van Beethoven. Who is he? Beethoven. Now, how was he discouraged? He was told that he had no talent for music at all. But later on, he gave some of the best music to the complete world. Now we have the study skills here. We need to read the story completely and complete the table given. Yes? You have to read the story and complete the table given. Okay. I think you have already read the story, or else I'll give you 5 minutes time. You can just read it out. An elderly carpenter was ready to retire. He told his employer, contractor of his plans, to leave the house building business to live a more leisurely life with his wife and enjoy his extended family. Listen carefully at whatever I'm reading. He would miss the paycheck each week, but he wanted to retire. They could get by. The contractor was sorry to see his good worker go and asked if he could build just one more house as a personal favor. The carpenter agreed. And as the carpenter agreed, but over time it was easy to see that his heart was not in his work. He resorted to shoddy workmanship and used inferior materials. It was an unfortunate way to end his dedicated career. When the carpenter finished his work, his employer came to the inspection to inspect the house. Then he handed the front door key to the carpenter and said, "This is your house. My gift is to you." Now the carpenter is shocked. What a shame. If he had only known that he was building his own house, he would have done it all so differently. So it is with us. We build our house a day at a time, often putting less than our best into the building. Then, with a shock, we realize we have to live in the house we have built. If we could do it over, we would do it much differently. But you cannot go back. You are the carpenter. You are the carpenter, and every day you hammer a nail, place a board, or erect a wall. Someone once said, life is to do it yourself project. Your attitude and the choices you make today help build the house you will live in tomorrow. Therefore, build wisely. Right. So now see the questions here given, complete the table. What is the setting here? You can say that retirement or the location in which story took place. Like you can say a building, and that building where the retirement of a carpenter is going on. And who are the main characters here? The first is the contractor and the next is the carpenter. Next, what are the main events here? First one, you can say that the carpenter decided to retire. First one. Second one, he told his employer, the contractor, about his decision. He said his decision to the employer, contractor. And the third one is, the third main point is the contractor requested to build one more house for as a personal favor. And the fourth one, the carpenter agreed and finished the work. Fifth one, carpenter gave the very house to the carpenter as a gift. Now, what is the turning point in the story? The turning point is the carpenter giving the front door keys and saying that this is your house. Take it as a gift. This is suddenly a turning point in the story. Now, what is the irony here? The irony is nothing but the carpenter thought that the house was for the contractor. And as he already decided to retire, he did not do his best here. He did not give his best. But now he was shocked because he knew that that house is being given to him as a retirement gift by the carpenter. Now, what is the message in the story? The message is build your life with good attitude. So, when you are retiring, he might have done the last job perfectly, right? He doesn't know that it was for him. That is the main mistake where he committed there, right? Then what is the possible title? You can give it to him. Build One's Life will be the possible title as far as I'm concerned, and you can give your own and your own also, no problem. Your own story title also you can give. Now next you have the listening one. Listen to the story about a farmer now. So after listening, you need to write the story by giving another ending, correct? So now let us see what is the story about. Just now we have listened a story about a farmer. Here are some sentences that describe the events in the story. However, they are not in order in which they occur in the story. Listen to the story and arrange them in an order in which they occur. Put one after the event and occurs first, second against the next, and so on. So here they have given you the story. Correct. They have given you the story, and what you have to do, you have to arrange it in a proper order now. If you are arranging in a proper order, then only you will be given a correct one. See, he threw himself into the Barcelona river and committed suicide. The wise man said, because that is a diamond, he picked up the stone and put it in the living room. So what may be the first one? Think what may be the first one? Yes, and the next one you have, he looked all through Europe and couldn't find any. They found that the farm was indeed covered with acres and acres of diamonds. That night, the farmer couldn't sleep. The person who had brought his farm was watering the camels at the stream. He made arrangements to sell off his farm and went in search of diamonds. He was unhappy and he was discontent. A wise old man told him about the glory of diamonds. Now, if you observe everything, what may be the first one here? Yes, I think, and as far as I am concerned, I think the first line will be like, a wise man told him about the glory of the diamonds, will be the first one. Then if you see, after telling it, that night the farmer couldn't sleep. Correct. Then he was unhappy and he was discontent also because he couldn't sleep. Next, what did he do? He made arrangement to sell off his farm and went in search of diamonds. After searching, he looked all through Europe and couldn't find any. Next, he threw himself into the Barcelona river and committed suicide. The person who had bought his farm was watering the camels at a stream. He picked up stone and put it in the living room. The wise man said, because that is a diamond. They found that farm was indeed covered with acres and acres of diamonds. See, he thought something else and he went, but at last he committed suicide now. Next, oral activity. After listening to the story, now you have to work in pairs and discuss the advantages and disadvantages of traveling abroad. You may use the hints given in the box for your better understanding. So what are the advantages here if you see? Earning more money, social status, more opportunities, cut off your roots, living away from parents, brain drain and intellectual loss is a disadvantage. Now let us start advantages and disadvantages of traveling abroad. I say that nowadays we see many students, educated people and some others also going abroad wherever or everywhere due to several reasons. Some go for studies, few go for the job purpose, few go for tutoring. Going abroad has not only advantages but also disadvantages. So let us see the advantages first. If you see the advantages first, when you're traveling abroad, you will come to know about the different cultures, different rituals, and it will also definitely give you some knowledge. And the second point where I wanted to discuss is with students going for abroad for studies. Educated people go abroad for better opportunities like job purpose. So you can also go to abroad. They can get good and quality education. If you're traveling, you'll get good and quality education also in abroad. They can study and get jobs. They can settle in their lives by getting better earning. And it improves the social status too. Correct? It improves the social status too. They can get many or more opportunities, more income. They can learn new language. They can make friends with people from different countries. They can know about the recent technological developments. The new environment can also be used. Like they can create some memories, which are the advantages. Now, what are the disadvantages? So now people, when they're going for the abroad, they'll cut their roots off. Like they will not return again. They'll not return to their native country once again. They'll be there only settled there. So that is a disadvantage. So I can also say that they forget their own environment. They are not friendly. They will live away from the parents. They are not living lively. They should live away from our culture, ritual, religions also. They miss the native food, native taste also will be lost. They miss the nearness, togetherness of their parents. They live far away from their parents. They miss the sacred love. And their parents would suffer from being old age problems, as nobody will be there to take care of them. They'll have some brain drain, intellectual loss, all these things. With this, we have completed reading B. Let us see the reading C in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.